Don't you guys just love your latest episode of Madara Shippuden? Like, I love Madara Shippuden. This is a fucking awesome anime. Madara Shippuden, bruh. So this week's episode of Naruto Shippuden, definitely another epic one with Madara. It was like, holy fucking shit. The ass whooping he's taking from the Bijuu, it's kind of like evening things out. It's like at the same time, Madara, he is a fucking godlike strong motherfucker, but the Bijuu are no joke either. They were slapping him around. He lost his arm. I was a little bit disappointed at the anime censoring out a scene that I absolutely love, because I remember even like having that picture just as my desktop. It's supposed to be a picture of like Madara holding himself right here, and like blood is dripping out everywhere, and he's like, fuck, you know, because he just lost his arm. They kind of censored that out, and literally the next time you see him without, like, you know, his arm, he's already putting the Zetsu arm back in. I wish they would have like saved that a little bit and get a little bit more Madara, like one arm, no eyes, just fucking going in. So, you know, the censorship, come on, bro. Like, that's an amazing scene. I would have loved to see the blood everywhere and Madara like fucking facing off this entirety of an onslaught against them. But Zetsu was like, nah, bro, you can put me inside of you. And within this fight, Madara managed to do a lot of things. It's like, Madara's a fucking boss. Like, Madara, he just has that epicness to him. Like, no matter what, he just continuously talks shit, talks cocky as fuck. And then he gets his eye back and he's like, yeah, now the real games begin. And it's like, how do you, like, the 9-tailed beast, all of them, 1, 2 through fucking 9, and he's like, oh, let's put some collars around them. If that's not shit-talking epicness at its finest, then, yo, can I get like a shirt of Madara that says the baddest motherfucker out there, or just an epic dude? And a lot of this episode was definitely fighting, action. I will say one thing about the whole Obito situation, when the husk of the Mazo was pulled out of him. How fucking strong is Black Zetsu's presence within him that can keep him alive at this particular point? Because they're saying the only reason why you're alive right now is because I'm attached to you. But prior to that, the ghetto Mazo basically being inside Obito was what was keeping him alive at that. So he was like, you know, already fucked up. But now you pull out the Mazo, and yeah, Black Zetsu is still attached to him, but is that really enough for everything that's happened to him, getting the Jubi sucked out of him, and then now even the Mazo that was basically keeping him alive sucked out of him as well? Is like, Jesus fucking Christ, a little bit convenient there, huh? And I think this episode was also trying to showcase just the relationship between the Bijuu and kind of how they're fighting with humanity now to kind of save the world and everything, and where they were at. Because, I mean, at some point, it was almost as if Shukaku and a lot of the beasts, pretty much almost all of them, have given up on everything. It was like when Shukaku seen that old man, which they shoehorned in that flashback, but I guess if you look at it thematically, it kind of fit in there as far as, like, you know, the Bijuu, and now they're working with humanity and whatnot, where Shukaku was like, I'm never going to find another person like you. There's probably nobody else out there like you. You remind me of the Sage of Six Paths to that old monk. And it's like, yeah, the old monk was right. You will find some decent people. It will take a while. And that's kind of the whole thing of, you know, the next generation will be better than the last. And like Naruto and Gaara's generation became, you know, decent people and could accept these beasts for more than just like, you know, slaves and pets or whatever. They work with them now. But I couldn't help but laugh after the filler episode we had a couple weeks ago of Gaara like asking one fucking question and then going into this entire flashback. Now Shukaku doing it. It's like, is this a fucking Sand Village thing? Like, you can't ask them questions because they're going to go into dramatic flashbacks. But yeah, just more of that Madara epicness, Madara craziness. Is like, so we got a little bit of progression. He lost his real arm, but then now he has a Zetsu arm, so he's slightly, I wouldn't say weakened, because I think his Zetsu arm would, you know, show him just fine. And it's kind of funny as well, like at this point, it's just slap an eye in there, fuck it. I mean, we've seen cases of it before where like Rin, for example, was immediately able to take out Obito's eye and put it into Kakashi, so this isn't anything new or whatever, but I just find it funny in the midst of a battle, it's like, ah, bloop. And we also have progression that Madara got that eye. He also has the husk of the Mazo. You know, he's taking out the beasts little by little, sucking them up. So yeah, we got some progression in here. It wasn't the greatest episode or anything, and the art and animation wasn't too great either. It was like standard in this episode. So all that being said, probably a 7 to a 7.5 for this episode. Good action, some progression in there. Ultimately, it's kind of like Madara is so fucking boss. But definitely a couple things is like, yeah, Obito's living right now vicariously through plot. Because not only having the Jubi sucked out of him, but then the Mazo that was keeping him alive prior to that, and now Black Zetsu was able to, you know, keep him patched up. It just kind of feels like Obito kind of could die now, bro. But let me know what you guys thought of this episode. What do you think about Madara versus the Bijuu? How did you feel about that? Like, holy fucking shit, this one dude, and now he finally has one eye, is fucking them all up. Do you think that he's too hacks right now? He definitely is a bit fucking OP. I mean, he doesn't even have much right now. He barely has 2 fucking arms, and he's kicking so much ass. And your real thoughts of this episode. The preview for next week's episode, though, looking really, really good. And it's kind of funny, almost identical, that last Christmas, the same content that's about to be shown in next week's episode, literally the chapter came out last Christmas. So it's very coincidental that Christmas after Christmas we're getting some very interesting things. I'll leave it at that. And your real thoughts of this week's episode. Again, good episode for the most part, some progression in there, and just Madara being a fucking beast. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you can do so as well, that'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.